Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
7 in 30 minutes, we're going to hand it off to Chris Plant, so don't you go anywhere. He is raring to go. It's Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock. Good morning, Julie.
Sorry. Microphone muted again. God, I have a problem with that.
Good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
Radio's not that hard. It's like 2 switches, honestly. Joining us right now, Chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia, Mark Peake, who, we're in the home stretch here for the race for governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general. And this Jay Jones story that broke on Friday, Chairman Peake, when you took the gig, I bet you didn't think you'd have to deal with something like this. But I'd love for you to sort of speak on not just Jay Jones himself and what it's been revealed he had to say and the way he's handled it, but the fact that not one Democrat has withdrawn their endorsement for Jay Jones to be the top law enforcement officer in Virginia.
Well, Larry and Julie, thank you for having me. And I'll tell you that when I was elected Republican Party of Virginia chairman back in April, there have been all kinds of things that I never anticipated that we've gotten to deal with. But we are now heading in to the home stretch, 1 month tomorrow to Election Day. And what this shows you about Jay Jones is early voting had already started. Thanks when the Democrats had complete control of the legislative branches, they passed this 45 days of early voting with no photo ID. So now he's on the ballot. People have started voting. It just shows you the Democrats have no principles whatsoever. All they care about is total and complete control and power. Because anyone with any conscience or any morals or any ethics whatsoever would not run on a ticket with a guy who said, not when he was a teenager, not 20 years ago, 3 years ago, said that about not some murderer or some other person on this, but one of his House colleagues. One of his House colleagues.
Yeah, yep.
3 years ago, he said that about, and his wife and his children. And you're going to run on a ticket with that person? You're not going to ask him to step down? In essence, a quick 2-sentence statement from Spanberger. Hashmi, nobody knows where she is. I don't even think she's still in the country. I think they sent her to Australia or someplace. Nothing from them.
Nothing.
And what about the Democratic Party chair of Virginia, Lamont Bagby? Where is he on this issue? I mean, it is sad.
Chairman Peake, how are Republicans supposed to feel safe in Virginia, especially if they're not only they're running this guy, but my goodness, if he wins, head law enforcement official in the state of Virginia, and he wants Republicans murdered. How are we supposed to feel safe in this state?
The top cop for Virginia texts about killing his colleagues, shooting them in the head.
Children.
Yeah. After they laughed about what happened to Charlie Kirk, after you saw the comments from a ton of Democrats, a ton of Virginia Democrats, and some elected Virginia Democrats kind of rejoiced in it, laughed about it, thought it was funny. And now their attorney general candidate is saying the exact type of things to encourage that type of violence. It's a sad day for Virginia.
Mark Peake is our guest, chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia. You've been around long enough to know that, former Governor George Allen, says an offhanded remark calling somebody macaca at a campaign event, and that ends up being a career ender for him. And now you fast forward to now, and you've got Jay Jones wishing murder on his fellow his fellow lawmakers. And everyone acts like, oh, yeah, well, it's a little gaffe, but we'll move on because power is more important. So, listen, how can you and the party harness this to make the choice very clear for Virginians who have not voted yet? Because based on the polls I'm looking at, it depends on who you believe. Some of them show this to be a tight race in all 3 statewide races. There's other polls that concern me that show Spanberger with an insurmountable lead. So how do you view this race, and what's going to be your final argument here in these last 4 weeks?
I can tell you one thing. Any post that begins with Washington Post or any poll that begins with Washington Post, you know you can throw it out immediately because I don't think they've ever been accurate. I take back to polls. Who's that Iowa newspaper lady who said Kamala Harris was going to win Iowa by 20 points, and she put it out the week before the election? So that's what I think of polls. And most of the college polls in Virginia have been woefully inaccurate as well. So we think we are winning these races. I think Jason just shot way ahead. John Reed's been neck and neck, and polls have shown Winsome within the margin of error numerous times. So what we have to do, we've got to get some money, and we've got to run ads so that people can hear what the Democratic candidate for Attorney General has said, and the fact that his two running mates refused to condemn it or ask him to step aside. So that's what we've got to do. We got to get the Republican Governors Association and the Republican National Committee to help us put some commercials up. And that's, as you know, we've been outspent, and it's time to step up for these national groups and give us the money to publicize the type of people that are running for the Democrats. And let's not forget, that's what Jay Jones said, but Ghazala Hashmi stood by a banner that said, "We stand with Palestine," after they murdered innocent children, women, and Jews on October 7th. That's what they stand for.
And with an upside-down American flag next to her as she was delivering that campaign stump speech. Yeah. All right, so I just want to reiterate, because I want to make sure everybody just heard that. This is the chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia, Mark Peake, calling on the Republican Governors Association and the RNC to step up, get some ads going, and get some money. Because the Spamberger ads are insane. The amount of money that she's gotten from outside the state of Virginia is astronomical.
Nuts.
And so you are on the record right now, 4 weeks out from Election Day, saying you're not getting enough from these national committees. Is that right?
We are not getting the type of funding we need, especially after what just came out on Friday, to let the citizens of the Commonwealth of Virginia know the type of candidates that the Democrats are running. And we have got to get it, and we've got to get that message out, and we've got to get it over the airwaves.
All right. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, and we'll see if it moves the needle. At least we got it out.
We've got some calls. We're making calls this morning, and this is a national story. Everybody is covering it. J.D. Vance has commented on it. All the national news media is commenting on it.
That's
and
right.
After what happened to Charlie Kirk, if this doesn't get your attention, nothing will.
Right.
Well, and Brian Kemp, governor of Virginia, he's the chair of the Republican Governors Association, and if he wants to make an impact here and be a national figure, he should step into Virginia and be campaigning side by side and get Winsome Sears across the finish line. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you joining us. We'll talk to you again before Election Day.
Larry and Julie.
You bet.
Thank
it's
you.
8:44.